Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to pick number six of albums that are 20 years old in 2025 as we look back to our top 15 releases from 2005. That's what we're doing here this month. We're splitting the month in half, the first 15 days, our top 15 ranked in order. I've heard that a lot of people are questioning, well, Pete, like, are these in order? Like, yes, I've said it like tons and tons of times. Yes, these are my top 15 ranked in order. We're going to count down to number one, which will be revealed on the 15th. And then on the 16th of the month, we're going to switch gears. We're going to look at albums that are 10 years old in 2025, going back to 2015 and counting down our favorite 15 from that particular year as well. So today, man, we got a good one today. May not be a preference for a lot of people watching this show, but it's one of my favorite albums. It's the fourth studio album from this American band, released on May 24th, 2005, recorded at the Sound Lab Studios in South Carolina, at the Sound Lab and the Columbia Studios, both in South Carolina, produced by the great Neil Kernon for Relapse Records. I'm talking about Annihilation of the Wicked by Nile. Yes, Nile is my favorite death metal band of all time. This is an absolutely amazing, crushing achievement. Such a great album. I was just listening to it again before we started recording today, and I'm just kind of like, oh man, I think that might have to be my gym album for today because it's just so good. Yeah, and look at that cover. How amazing is that, right? The lineup, I still consider this the classic lineup of Nile. Founder, main guy, Carl Sanders on guitars, vocals, keyboards. Bouzouki plays some of those kind of old. He plays the baglama instrument as well. It's kind of like these sitar type things. Dallas Toller Wade on guitars and lead and backing vocals. George Callias, the Beast, on drums, and John Vasano on bass and vocals, along with a little help from Mike Brazil on bits of chants and things like that on one track. Bob Moore engineered the album. Artwork and layout, Orion Landau. And like I said, Neil Kernon did the producing, recording, and mixing of the album. So what do we have on this record? So, Nile play technical progressive death metal, really technical. This stuff is very meticulously put together. Most of their albums, or especially early on, with lyrical stuff going on about ancient Egyptian kind of themes and history, Mesopotamia. They also very often incorporate a lot of H.P. Lovecraft type things in their music as well. So if you're one of those people who like, death metal, I can never understand what they're singing or what they're growling, but it'd be nice to know what these songs are all about. I mean, I'm not much of a lyric guy, but if you read along to the Nile lyrics, man, it's very well thought out and put together. It's like reading a book, right? So, and there's this kind of like, Egyptian kind of flavor to a lot of their songs, even though it is just big technical crushing death metal. And they love long ass songs, titles. The song titles are crazy. So here, like, the first track on here is Dusk Falls Upon the Temple of the Serpent on the Mount of Sunrise. That's a little instrumental with Carl on the bouzouki, right? Sounds kind of like a sitar type of thing. Very, very Egyptian sounding, Middle Eastern sounding, right? That leads into the absolutely crushing juggernaut of a track called Cast Down the Heretic. And George Callias on drums is just an absolute machine. He's often labeled, if not one of the greatest death metal drummers of all time. He's so good, so good. And then you got this double guitar attack. God, they got like three guitar players now, but of Dallas Toller Wade and Carl Sanders. And man, the big crushing riffs and then the intricate stuff going on, the blazing solos. I mean, then musically, this band is like absolutely ferocious. Sacrifice into Sabak is next. Really cool tune, kind of a shorter piece, one of the shorter pieces on the album. And then you've got the 9 minute long Usur Matare. Again, all the song titles have to do with ancient Egyptian themes and stuff like that. That is just ridiculous. Just ridiculous between the drumming and all the little solos and the big, sometimes they'll do these really fast, crazy, intricate parts, and then they'll slow things down to almost like these gargantuan, kind of like doomy, riffy segments. Just unbelievable. And then you got the, three of the guys doing vocals and stuff. It's all growling type stuff, but it sounds different than anybody else. This Nile has a very unique sound. They don't sound like anybody else. Then you got the Burning Pits of the Duat. Great track. Just just blazing, so good. That goes into chapter of geez, obeisance before giving breath to the inner one in the presence of the crescent-shaped horns. Because got to have those crescent-shaped horns somewhere in this whole thing, right? Lash to the Slave is another really good one. Spawn of the Aumenti, another brief little instrumental segue into the crushing title track, Annihilation of the Wicked, which is another one of my favorites on here. Just it's a behemoth track. It's just so good. And then the last, but certainly not least, might even be the most adventurous on the album is Von Unaspeklin Kulten, however you say that. And again, that's based on some kind of H.P. Lovecraft type of thing. That is, it means in German, for its German title, of Unspeakable Cults, which is based on a book from H.P. Lovecraft of the same name, right? This is a really cool track because they have it's very progressive sounding, very technical, but they also, and I'm assuming Carl's doing it on the keyboards, but it's almost like you hear like this French horn, like there's like these horn passages in here. It's just very cool, so different. I mean, this whole album, 52 minutes of just some of the best death metal you'll ever hear. And this is one of those bands, if you haven't watched our ranking, Cans and I, Chris Canzaneri ranked the Nile catalog, I don't know, 3 years ago or something like that. Go watch it. It's one of those catalogs where there's no weak albums, and it's really difficult to rank them because each one is of such high quality, but they all sound a little bit different from each other, but they still sound like Nile. And they released an album last year, which just, they've changed the lineup a bit. Like Dallas is no longer in the band. Now they've got three guitar players, but it still sounds like Nile. And still the basis for what they do is always intact, which is great. So, all right, charts. Swedish charts made it to number 27. And no singles released from this album, no certification. And this would be followed up by Legacy of the Catacombs, 2007. I tell you, and don't sleep on In Their Darkened Shrines, which came out in 2002, the album right before this. That's also one of their best. I mean, that right out of the gate, these guys were like, the first album was really good, and then they just took off from there. And they've been releasing new albums every couple of years. You get a new Nile album, and man, they're all really good. So that is my pick for today. Let me turn off the Prezi. Annihilation of the Wicked from Nile. I've seen a couple people pick this so far this month down in the comments. Let me turn the Prezi off. Switch back to real view, right? Yeah, list your pick down below. Pick number 6. We've got 5 to go before we move over into 2015. So this has been fun. I mean, it just goes to show. I know there's a lot of people who watch who maybe don't agree, but there was a lot of great music in years like this. If again, just if you can get it out of your mindset about what's deemed as popular music, there's so much other stuff out there and all the genres you like, whether you like metal or prog or hard rock or classic rock or blues or fusion or whatever. There's just so much stuff but you got to go find it, right? Because they're not the powers that be, the marketing people, the social media. They're not promoting stuff like this. You got to go find it though. Once you do find it, you're like, whoa, there's just some great music being produced and released in 2005 and 2015, 2018, right? But you just have to be open to wanting to accept it, right? And go out and find it. That's the thing, because I know a lot of people are just like, I don't have the time to listen to new music. I'll stick with the classics. It's like, well, that's all fine and dandy, but you can't say that there isn't good music if you haven't been listening to it, right? So trust me, as someone who much of what I do and have been doing for the last 20 some odd years is reviewing and having to listen to absorb so much new music. There's a lot of good stuff out there, and there has been for a long time. Rock music or whatever, and ain't dead, folks. There's plenty of it. Okay, but just it's not what those folks who are the ones who say what you should listen to. They're saying it's dead. But I'm telling you, there's a lot of great rock and metal and prog and all that kind of stuff. Lots of it. So anyway, visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube all together all the damn time. Programming coming up on the channel. So I don't know if you guys saw my post on the community page here, but Lynn is still ill. So we're going to postpone the Zebra album ranking for a couple weeks, I guess, or a week or two at least, till she gets better. I talked to her yesterday, so we felt that that was the best thing to do because she's not going to be ready in time. So I am going to push up. I have work cut out for me, but I'm going to push up a ranking that I was looking to do a month or two down the line, but I think I can pull it off because I want to get to it so badly. I'm going to rank the albums of Riot on Sunday. So it's like 16 albums. I've been listening to a lot of them over the last couple of months. So it's like, I think I can probably do it. I was going to pick something much, much shorter, a little catalog that I can easily do. But you know me, I like a challenge and I do have some time over the weekend. So it's like to kind of just put everything together. So I will be ranking the albums of the Great Riot, one of those bands that you guys have asked for years. And it's long overdue. So I'm going to squeeze that in this weekend. So you got Riot coming up on Sunday. Friday morning at the Funhouse, Martin Popoff and I will be continuing on with our producers series. We're going to be picking and talking about our favorite productions, album productions from the great Bob Ezrin, each picking at our top 5 albums produced by Bob Ezrin. So that's coming up this weekend. We've got also the Professor's Picks coming up on Friday as well. We've got Jamie Laszlo and his review crew back at you on Saturday. And next week, don't forget, is Monsters Day. We're going to be ranking the Hammer Productions mummy films, right? I think there's what, 4 of them. So we're going to be, we're all rewatching those and we're going to be talking about those and we're each going to be ranking those. So that's coming up next week on the Monsters Den. So stay tuned for that and more here on the channel. Again, of course, I got those 2 new episodes in my newbie series, albums for newbies, right? So 10 essential albums if you're new to a certain genre. And I should be doing those this weekend too, as well. I'm just trying to fit everything in, or maybe early next week. It's been a crazy week. I'm going to do 10 essential albums for someone new to doom metal and also one for jazz fusion. Right. So the fusion and the doom coming at you over the next couple days. And then I also have another episode too where I'm going to pick out my 10 or maybe 20, I haven't decided yet, favorite band lineups of all time. Those lineups that were just so amazing, whether they were long-standing or they were just very quick for an album or two. But man, the makeup of those, bass drums, keyboards, vocals, right, or whatever the configuration was. Maybe there's a sax player in there, a piano player, whatever. I don't know, whatever. But where those lineups were just so legendary and created such absolute magic together, no matter how long they were together for. So I'm racking my brain trying to come up with a really great list of just those amazing legendary lineups. Again, for me, right? My favorite doesn't mean it's what the world thinks, right? So that's all coming up over the next couple of days. So stay tuned for all that. I'm Pete Pardo. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you tomorrow morning for pick number 5. Take care.